because I think that's the first step to really healing and creating an equitable society. The first step is for people to come out. Jenny Slate, comedian, writer, the show Big Mouth. Jenny Slate is a white woman, and she played the role of a character named Missy on Big Mouth, an animated show on Netflix. And Missy was a mixed race character who had a Jewish white mother like Slate and a black father. I mean, clearly we're looking at Missy here. Missy is clearly black, even though she's mixed race. But Jenny Slate has recused herself from the show, and she's leaving because she said black characters should be played by black people. I don't think that's enough. She's contributed to the erasure of black people. And she's said that. She said she erased a black person. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what futuristic weapon, what ray gun she used to erase a black person. But I don't think it's enough to just say sorry and go back to your mansion. No, thank you, ma'am. Jenny Slate has to go to jail. She has to be brought up on charges, and she has to go to jail for no less than 10 years for what she did. This is not a fucking joke. Stop laughing, you white pig. She needs to hear every night. She needs to hear the bars clink. She needs to lose her freedom. What has she done with her freedom? She's used it to erase black people by voicing the character, a mixed race character on Big Mouth on Netflix. No thank, and cancel Big Mouth while we're at it. Sorry, Nick Kroll, cancel Big Mouth. You're going to have to get a job with your family doing security-related matters. I'm sorry. I don't want to be this way, but I am. I don't want to be this way, but I am. Jenny said, I've come to the decision today that I can no longer play the character of Missy on the animated TV show Big Mouth. At the start of the show, I reasoned with myself that it was permissible to play Missy because her mom is Jewish and white, as am I. But Missy is also black, and black characters on an animated show should be played by black people. I acknowledge how my original reasoning was flawed, that it existed as an example of white privilege and an unjust allowances made within a system of societal white supremacy, and that me playing Missy was engaging in an act of erasure of black people. Now, put her in jail. Put her in jail. Why is she not in jail? Why are the producers of this show not behind bars? God damn them. God damn her. God damn. I am only laughing now because I'm so angry that when I laugh, I get angry and I laugh. But God damn them, Black Lives Matter. Do you understand that? They matter on a Netflix cartoon. Put her in jail that Nick Kroll's parents built. Not even an underground prison. What do we not know what they do? Use Google, dummies. I get it. She's got to go to jail. A secret underground facility where she can be re-educated. Not my fault. I want to hold people accountable. They're being held accountable this week. That's it. No more games this week. Tim is here to hold everyone accountable. Will I apologize for the bit I did with Nick Mullen where we said that Orthodox Jews were wearing diapers to landlord-tenant court because they were pretending to be insane so they could continue to rip off their minority tenants? I will not apologize for that. That I will not do because I did not erase a black person in that. If anything, I called attention to inequality with that. You see the difference? Mm-hmm. I've had enough. For too long, I've sat on the sidelines while cartoonists have destroyed the fabric of American society. We cannot tolerate this anymore. Most importantly, though, Jenny says, to anyone that I've hurt, I am so very sorry. Oh, I bet that feels good. I am so very sorry. How many people have killed themselves because of this? How many lives have ended because of your show? I bet it's unquantifiable. How many people killed themselves, put a gun in their mouth, jumped off a building, cut their own throat, maybe their wrist, OD'd on pills, took a hairdryer and electrocuted themselves in the tub, asphyxiated themselves, hung themselves. I bet all of these black people that are dying tragically with nooses, they are hanging themselves because they found out that Missy was voiced by Jenny Slate. That is a hypothesis I have. It is not proven, it is a hypothesis, but I think it's pretty damn good. So I'm asking Ms. Slate and the producers of Big Mouth to turn themselves in to the military. Not even the LAPD, those corrupt bastards. No, the military to have a tribunal. We need a military tribunal in this case. And they will not have a jury of their peers. They will be tried by a jury of people that are selected, people that have been affected. Failed comedians will judge her. Comedians that don't make any money will judge Miss Slate. People that have podcasts that have 45 reviews on Apple will stand the judgment of Miss Slate, Mr. Kroll, and the entire show. They will judge you, and I hope explain it to them. Explain it to the people that couldn't even get a fucking free drink for their horrible comedy and have wasted their entire lives. Those are the people you have to convince. And the death penalty is not off the table. I'm not saying it's going to be, but it is a tool and it should be available to the prosecution. That's what I'm saying here. I'm done letting people off. This, by the way, what I'm doing here is what everyone's going to have to do. This is the new strategy with woke people, is to go more woke than they are. This is the new strategy. When they say we should take down that monument, you go, we should nuke an American city. That's what you say. If someone says, now I want to get rid of this monument, go, let's nuke D.C. Let's nuke Washington. Because they got to look at you like, huh? Like, it's got to be so bad now. When she steps down of Big Mouth, I go, we shouldn't have a Big Mouth. It's got to go. It's tainted. That's what you're going to have to do. You're just going to have to, when somebody says to you, when somebody starts a conversation and goes, listen, why not get rid of all these monuments? Go, I will do you one better. I will do you one better. Why not get rid of them all at once? Let's nuke Washington, D.C. Let's get a suitcase nuclear weapon and nuke Washington, D.C. And if they're shocked by that or they argue against that, you just look at them and go, what? Oh, so you're gonna take the monuments that are offensive and leave the White House and Congress and the Washington Monument? And what? No. We are going to nuke the Capitol. That is the woke position. And when things get things get better, when the radiation is gone in a few months or years, I don't know, then we will go and build an equitable society. But we're not going to do these surgical strikes. We're not going to do these surgical strikes. We're going in with a suitcase nuke. We're going in with a suitcase nuke, and Jenny Slate will be publicly executed for what she has done to the black community. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? You can always pinpoint the moment in someone's career when they become a fan of the Tim Dillon Show. Lizzo, whether you know it or not, you are about to become a fan of the Tim Dillon Show because now you're going to start to hear things with virgin ears. You're going to be, it's virgin ears because you're going to actually hear me for the first time. After this event, you're going to hear me for the first time and you're going to go, you know, some of what he's saying makes sense. Number one, what a mistake to hire 10 Lizzos to be, if you look or sound like me, I am throwing you in front of a train. There is zero, this idea that she's going to create a community of fat Lizzos that are all going to get along and love each other, that they're not going to turn around and go, why is this bitch the lead? When they all look like her and they all are icing their fucking ankle after the number and everybody is going, why is this bitch the... So what Lizzo tried to do is she said, we're going to have a show called Watch Out for the Big Girls where I'm going to get all these fat backup dancers and I'm going to put them behind me. And it's going to be a celebration of the body and of big girls dancing and everything like that. And then, so predictably, everything, they turned on her. They turned on Lizzo. Number one, they turned on her because they said they were weight shamed by Lizzo. Because there's a point when you're too fat. And Lizzo probably said, listen, we're all fat. We got to behave here. Because when you have so many fat people together, they can influence each other in negative ways. And maybe Lizzo walks in on two of these dancers and they are eating a peanut butter out of the jar together and pawing it out like the poo would with honey.
two of them are in the room, and Lizzo goes, well, oh, hey, guys, we got rehearsal right now. And these women they just have their fingers in the jar of peanut butter, and they're just licking it off. And Lizzo goes, listen, I'm a fat bitch. I get it. But you have to be professionally fat. So this is the issue. When you have a bunch of fatty boombatties, it's like a bunch of junkies. You ever been in a house with a bunch of junkies, and then certain people start deciding who's being too much of a junkie? I used to hang out in crack houses where certain people would, like, they'd be sober for an hour, and they would turn around to somebody else, and they'd go, you got to get your act together. Because that's what junkies do. In the same way, when you have a bunch of fat people and somebody's been on keto for 13 minutes, they start looking at everybody else going, look at this fat pig. Look at that piece of shit, huh? There is a dysfunction inherent in such a community where all of these people are big. It's a thing. Everybody's not supposed to be fat. Everybody's not supposed to be gay. Everybody's not supposed to be anything. They're supposed to be, it's like a little bit. You give a couple of fat people here, a couple of gay people here, a couple of trans people here. It makes it interesting. Not everybody, Oberlin College, 70% of you can't be gay, non-binary, LGBT, whatever. That's not the thing. It's a sprinkling. You can't just have every fat person in the world on a tour bus. Can you imagine Lizzo's tour bus pulling up in your town? And it's just one after the other. It's almost like the seven wonders of the world. When every single woman gets off that tour bus, each one fatter than the last. And they go, that's the concert. Those are the dancers? Former Lizzo dancers were weight shamed and pressured while at a strip club. Here's the other thing I want to say. If you're a fat person and you hire fat people, one of the fun things to do is to call them fat. You can't call your thin employees fat, although that is fun too. And, if you are thin, it's mean to call fat people fat. It's kind of like the N-word, which I don't use because I'm not black. But if I have a fat employee, I should be able to call them fatty boom batty. I should be able to call them piglet. I should be able to make jokes about their weight because I am also fat, and that entitles me to make jokes about their weight and demean them. And if they can't handle that, they should not have taken the job. That is one of the benefits of a fat person who hires fat people. And you curry favor with your thin employees by brutalizing the fat ones in front of the thin ones. I will make fun of my fat employee in front of one of my thin ones, and the fat one, frumpily goes away, sad, into the other room, and me and the thin one have that moment of like, look what we just did to that fatty. It's a bonding experience, okay? Like, we're not going to surf together, me and the thin one, but we can make fun of the pig I've hired. Now, so Lizzo, and by the way, Lizzo is smoking a joint right now in West Hollywood listening to this going, God, I wish this didn't make sense. I wish this didn't make sense. 3 of Lizzo's former dancers have accused the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment in a lawsuit filed Tuesday. They also allege that she pressured one of them to touch a nude performer at an Amsterdam club. They went to a strip club and subjected the group to, quote, excruciating audition after leveling false accusations that they were drinking on the job. So they're basically saying she's some type of emotional terrorist, going after everybody, accusing them of drinking, haranguing them about their weight. And when they go to a strip club, I think I read the thing about the strip club. She was basically like, touch this naked male dancer. And she like got a chant going like, do it, do it, do it. And the person felt uncomfortable. And then they finally did it. And, it's kind of like drunken shenanigans at a strip club. I mean, I know that, certain people will see that as inappropriate to me. I don't know. I don't know how inappropriate that is. It's not like Lizzo's going around sexually harassing the dancers. The suit filed in the Los Angeles Superior Court and provided to NBC News by the plaintiff's law firm also accuses the captain of Lizzo's dance team of proselytizing to other performers and deriding those who had premarital sex while sharing lewd fantasies, simulating oral sex, and publicly discussing the virginity of one of the plaintiffs. Let me read that again because there's a lot there. It also accuses the captain of Lizzo's dance team of proselytizing to other performers. So I think she was a Christian, and she was telling people that they should kind of being evangelizing and deriding those who had premarital sex. So she said, "You're a whore. I'm a Christian." But then she was also at the same time sharing lewd fantasies, simulating oral sex, and publicly discussing the virginity of one of the plaintiffs. So we got a whole host of issues that these dancers are upset about, right? The hostile work environment, saying sexual harassment. The suit brings claims for religious and racial harassment, false imprisonment. I mean, what is that? Interference with prospective economic advantage and other allegations. Not every claim is brought against each defendant. I mean, listen, people can bring a lawsuit for anything, and I'm sure these lawyers think that they're going to get a chunk of money or that Lizzo's going to settle. This is meant, I think, to tarnish her image. And this will teach someone a lesson. And I think it should teach Lizzo a lesson. When you elect to be the mayor of the people and the mayor of the body positive and the mayor of, you got to remember this, folks. And I, by the way, I don't attack people unless I feel that A, it's funny, or B, that they are wrong. If they're wrong, I will say, when Meghan Markle and Prince Harry do something, I pounce because all of the things that they do are so transparently vulgar. Most of them are lies, and the ones that aren't lies are distorted to a point where it becomes ridiculous. And all of those things come from a bad place. It's a place of wanting to be famous, wanting to have power over people, wanting to control people, wanting to, force people to believe a certain thing. So that's why I pounce on them. Here's the thing with Lizzo, and this is why I'm not attacking Lizzo. I don't know, and we've made fun of Lizzo a bunch. Lizzo forced dancers to eat bananas from sex workers' vaginas during Amsterdam. Well, this is... Hold on. I was just about to say I wasn't really coming down here hard on Lizzo, only because what I'm saying is when you say hostile work environment and all these things, right? I need to know the specifics of what's going on. However, this article seems maybe to provide them. Lizzo forced dancers, 3 of Lizzo's former dancers are suing the Good as Hell performer, as well as Big Girl, Big Touring, and Charlene Quigley for allegedly subjecting them to endure weight shame. Okay, we know that. Okay, so apparently...
The Amsterdam thing. So apparently they were in Amsterdam earlier this year, and then that's when the banana incident happened.
But what is the banana incident? Let's try to find this here. Because, again, I have to judge these claims based on their merits. Now, the headline is Lizzo forced... okay, here we go. Lawsuit states things quickly got out of hand at this Amsterdam strip club. Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, catching dildos launched from the performers' vaginas, and eating bananas protruding from the performers' vaginas. The suit also claims Lizzo allegedly pressured and goaded someone named Davis, I guess it's one of the dancers. Yeah, I read this, into touching one nude performer's breasts. The plaintiff also claims that just months later, Lizzo, 35, deceived them once again into attending a nude show, thereby, quote, robbing them of the choice not to participate. So what you have there is Lizzo likes to get maybe some freaky stuff. She likes to go to the strip clubs. She likes to get turned up. She likes to get wild. She's got bananas. It's always food, isn't it? She has bananas flying out of the pussies of these dancers, and she's making people eat it. It is way over the line, for sure. But, did these girls in the moment have a problem with this? Or was this something that after the night out, because I could see this being uncomfortable, but they're all drunk and Lizzo's be like, eh! And then, the rest of them are, everybody's drunk and everybody's kind of, and people kind of be like, ooh, gross. But like, nobody really makes it clear how uncomfortable they are. And then they do this stuff and then they do that afterwards. Like, this is way too far. This was over the line. I don't know. I think Lizzo's made a few big mistakes in her career. I think one of them is going in the direction of virtue and just saying, like, not just being like, hey, I'm fat, it is what it is. Saying, like, I will be your queen. Always, I will be your queen. And then inviting her fat subjects to the strip club, and then they turn on her. Because that never works when you go, I'm going to be your queen. It never works. Lizzo, it doesn't work. You have to understand that you're just a singer who's fat. You're not a revolutionary thing. You know how many fat people have talked into microphones? A lot of them. You know how many fat people have been famous? Many, many, many. Even fat black women have been fucking famous. Heard of Oprah? You're not the first in line to the throne here. You're the first social media star who's actually a very good singer and a really great musician who felt all of this pressure coming at you from these to say, well, our movement needs a queen, be this queen. And you took on that mantle. And now, you know, people in your orbit have turned on you and they want to take you off that throne and they want you to come in. Now, I don't know what has Lizzo issued a statement? Has she denied this? Has the woman, because all we've heard is from her, you know, big girls. This is, by the way, completely predictable in every way. When you watch the show, the Big Girl Show, and you see all of these people, they all have trauma, right? Everybody has traumas. Everybody goes, you know, here's why I'm overweight, or here's why I'm big. I had trauma. I was never this. I was never that. I was never respected. It's like, you know, so a lot of these traumas are going to come out. Is her IG being lit up? Are people like going crazy on her IG? Did she lock the comments?
Yeah, she hasn't posted in a while.
No, but I mean, her most recent thing. Usually when scandals happen, like the most recent thing, you know, will be like, it's very funny. Sometimes, I mean, you'll see like the most recent photo of somebody, they're like shirtless on a beach and they have like a goofy caption. And then like literally the line will be, answer the allegation. And it's just such an unfortunate final photo to have before a social media hiatus. Answer the allegation. She was 16. I don't know what Lizzo does now. I don't know if does she fight it? Here's what she should do. Lizzo should get super thin. It's now time to throw fat people under the bus. Put the Ozempic in the vein. Get hot. Get thin. Declare war on fat people. Write a book. Lizzo, listen to me. Yep, here they are. Here are the comments. So you're out there fat shaming your dancers. The audacity. Read the fucking room. You got exposed. So they're coming at Lizzo. Listen to me. Listen to the Tim Dillon Show. I'm going to tell you how to be okay. I'm going to tell you, listen to me. I want you to look at me. I know you're watching. I know people that know you. Listen to me. The time for fat is over now. You've made enough money off the pigs. It's time to leave the barn. God, I could do these. I could never stop with these. I could do these for hours. It's time to leave the barn, okay? Here's what you have to do. You have to get hot. You have to write a book about wellness. You have to denounce the fats. You have to say it was all wrong. You were wrong. You weren't thinking. You were in a haze of insomnia cookies, Postmates. You have to, you need to be on the Joe Rogan Experience. My good friend Joe Rogan, you go on there and you say, Joe, I am thin now. A thin Lizzo on the Joe Rogan Experience is the future of her career. You need to change, turn from this fat mainstream and become hot. Turn around, say I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I didn't mean to. I was acting out. I knew it wasn't right. At night, me and all the other dancers would just stuff our faces with food. Our joints we were icing all of our joints after the dance. You know, we were just bloated at high altitude in Denver, trying to do a show at the Colorado Springs Air Force Academy, farting and shitting all over the place. It was wrong, and I'm sorry, but now I'm hot, and I disowned the fat people. I am no longer the queen of fat people. Lizzo, look at me and watch me. Don't make the mistake. Don't get fatter, God forbid. Get thinner now. Hot Lizzo. Salad Lizzo. Lizzo keto salad dressing, yes or yes? There are so many economic opportunities. I should charge for this advice. There are so many economic opportunities right now. You've milked them enough, the fats. You've squeezed on their udders. You've milked them enough. It's time to get the healthy, the Rogan-y crowd, the the wellness people, that yoga, that, you know, are reading about filtration systems, the people that want non-GMO, like Lizzo, and you could, like, her song is good as hell. Like, imagine a Lizzo song from a Thin Lizzo where she's like, I used to be a pig. I was a big fat pig. But then I realized I was gross. I was disgusting. But now I'm hot, and hotness is real. And it would be huge. My legs used to chafe, rashes on my back, and under my titties 'cause of the sun. But now I'm thin, my vagina smells much better now. I'm hot, Lizzo is hot, and I'm gonna go to heaven. Oh, I'm gonna go to heaven with my new thin pussy. Girls, if you got a thin pussy, put your hands in the air. I mean, that was freestyling, freeballing it, but maybe that is good, but that is the advice for her. You cannot double down. You can no longer be the queen of the hogs and the heifers. It is time to move on. That is your free advice. Heed it or perish. And, you know, there's this idea that everyone in Hollywood is a lunatic, but that's only true of certain people. And there are certain people that are actually good, and they're actually people that are trying to do the right thing, and they are a good example. They're like an example for people. And one of them, and again, this is a non-binary person, so I'm going to try to do this the right way and use all the right things because I believe in you. But it's hard and difficult to always remember. So don't come for me if I say the wrong thing. But this is about an actor who is actually a very, this is someone you want to, if you're a child, you want to kind of emulate this guy who's not a guy. See, again, already it's hard. Literally already, it's this person, this entity, Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller is a non-binary actor who is a great role model for children. And there, you see them there. Nothing awkward about saying that. Good, seems good. English, everyone. You see them there with a skull necklace and a fur coat. Now, Ezra Miller has been having problems. Yes. With the studio who is releasing the movie The Flash. The studio is called Warner Brothers. And there is a movie coming out called The Flash. It is a superhero movie. Of course it is. Because we will refuse to make any movies anymore unless they are about superheroes or slaves. Those are the two genres of film that we are interested in making. You're either being beaten and whipped in a field, or you're flying through the air trying to save someone. Those are the only two representations of any person you will see in cinema at the current moment. Ezra Miller. Now, what's going on with Ezra Miller? There's issues, there's problems, right?
A long timeline of legal troubles here.
He's had, I'm sorry. Just because he choked someone and kidnapped someone does not mean that we can get all loosey-goosey here with the terms. Ezra Miller, early in the pandemic, video leaked of Miller choking a woman outside I don't even want to pronounce it, but in Reykjavik, Iceland. It's a bar. In the clip, which seems to pick up mid-confrontation, a smiling woman approaches Miller and appears to start a play fight. Well, is this going to be one of those things where I have to side with them? Miller takes her motion seriously and says, you want to fight? That's what you want to do? Before grabbing the woman by the neck, pushing her against the dumpster, throwing her to the ground, at which point the video cuts out. Seems excessive. Hey, Ezra. At the time, Variety confirmed Miller's identity with the bar, which said Miller frequented the location when they were in town. So he choked a woman. Yes. Not great PR for The Flash. On January 27th, 2022, 2, Miller began their fateful year by posting a video to social media threatening a North Carolina faction of the Ku Klux Klan. This is a message for the Beulaville chapter of the North Carolina KKK. The actor says in the clip, look, if y'all want to die, I suggest killing yourselves with your own guns, okay? Otherwise, keep doing exactly what you're doing right now, and you know what I'm talking about, then you know we'll do it for you. If that's what you really want, it's unclear what prompted Miller's threat to the hate group. He has no known ties to the North Carolina city. See, that's what makes me laugh, is it's not just the KKK in general. It's a specific North Carolina, almost like he has a problem with a person in that specific faction of the North Carolina chapter of the Ku Klux Klan.
In Beulaville.
In Beulaville. Like, listen, guys, we are going to figure out what's going on with the Beulaville KKK. March 28, 2022, Hawaii arrest number 1. Miller spent their spring in Hawaii. By all accounts, they were a menace to everyone around them. On March 28th, the actor was visiting a local karaoke bar when they grew agitated and began, quote, yelling obscenities, and at one point grabbed the microphone from a 23-year-old woman singing karaoke. Later, Miller lunged at a 32-year-old man and failed to calm down after being asked several times by the bar owner. Miller's interactions with the 2 bar patrons earned them and by the way, I can't get anything made because I sat next to Alex Jones on a podcast. Just to give you an idea, this person this is all okay. Who does he have photos of? They. Who do they have? When did Miller come out as non-binary?
I think a few years back.
Okay, great. Well, it's clearly helped their behavior. So Miller then posts $500 bail. They let him out.
Yeah.
Miller argues that they, in fact, were the victim of assault, claiming a self-identifying Nazi in the bar attacked him. There's always Nazis everywhere popping up. A Nazi in the bar attacked them and explaining that they recorded themselves being assaulted in order to make NFT crypto art. So Ezra Miller said, I was attacked by a Nazi and I recorded it to make crypto art.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. He's saying the Nazi was doing that.
They are saying
They were saying.
They are saying that. When does shortly after the karaoke bar incident, Miller was arrested again in Hawaii for allegedly throwing a chair that struck a woman in the head. At around 1 a.m, can I do this if I become non-binary? Can I throw chairs at women and go crazy at bars in Hawaii? Like, can I do all of that? Is that because, by the way, I don't feel, really, to be honest, I didn't feel like a man or a woman today. I had tomatoes and onions and I rolled it up, and I didn't eat bread, and I rolled it up with lox and cream cheese, and I ate it in the grocery store, and I just sat there while the crazy guy talked about the Rolling Stones. I didn't feel my cock. If I had a vagina, that would have also been okay. Like, I felt kind of like either one. So what I'm saying is, if I fully embrace my kind of gender neutral, can I choke women outside of bars and throw chairs at their head? It's a fair question. This is one of the things with Ezra Miller where everybody goes, you got to look into it. You got to look into it. You got to look into it. I've never looked into it. I just ignore it because, like, you know what I mean? So then Miller was accused of acting inappropriately toward 2 different children. First, the parents of Iron Eyes, an 18-year-old environmental. I mean, folks, the parents of Tokata Iron Eyes, an 18-year-old environmental activist, sought a protective against the actor, saying who they began an inappropriate. Maybe you don't get your pronouns honored if you throw chairs at women's heads. Could that be a good rule? Where we go, hey, so if you are going to be violent, we're not going to actually honor the pronouns. So this is what they said. They said, Ezra Miller began an inappropriate relationship with Iron Eyes when they were 12 years old. Ezra uses violence, intimidation, threats of violence, fear, paranoid delusions, and drugs to hold sway over young adolescent Tokata Iron Eyes, parent said. However, posts from an unverified Instagram account believed to be owned by Iron Eyes deny all claims of abuse. So the parents claim one thing, but Iron Eyes says, nope, we're doing fine. Soon after, a 12-year-old and their mother were granted an order of protection from Miller after describing an uncomfortable interaction with the actor during a party in Greenfield, Massachusetts. The mother and then her 11-year-old attended a party held by their downstairs neighbor, which Miller also attended. At the event, Miller began screaming in the mother's face after accusing her of cultural appropriation and allegedly showed her a gun, saying, quote, talking like that could get you into a really serious situation. After that, Miller reportedly, now, by the way, you know, I know Gavin just got clipped and everyone's going to be, you know, and I don't know what he did, and Gavin's always been good to me, but here's the deal. Everyone's going to be talking about right-wing terrorism. Every news article that you're going to read for the next 12 months will be about right-wing terrorism, which, again, does exist for sure. There are paramilitary groups that do crazy things, Capitol riot, whatever. But this type of behavior where he's like showing a gun to someone, talking about cultural appropriation, could we then move this into the category of a guy who is maybe influenced by the left a bit to doing some things that are inappropriate? Because he's using all like the terminology and he's got the gun and he's still in the movie. Yet, I imagine if this was kind of on the other side where he was talking about the great replacement theory or any, you know, and brandishing guns, he might not work. That's all. Curious. I don't know. So he points a gun at a mother's face at a party because she said something. I don't know what she said. After that, Miller reportedly acted inappropriately toward the child by hugging them and touching their hips. They automatically were just weirdly drawn to me and kept talking about how they love my outfit and they love my style. Da-da-da-da-da-da. It was really uncomfortable. I was nervous. I was scared to be around them after he'd yelled at my mother and she was crying. Why the mother then didn't leave the party is odd to me. In August 2022, those closest. Now, by the way, this person still has a job. They still, after all the shit, right? The Me Too, the cancel culture, this guy that's not a guy, that's a woman too, that's non-binary, that lives in the middle, and it's just hard because the name Ezra has always been a male name, but so it's difficult. It makes me, but the choker and the brandisher of guns at the mom still has a job in Hollywood. Odd. Interesting. In August, those closest to Miller spoke to Insider for a report that paints the actor as increasingly unstable. Really? And apparently running sort of a cult. The report alleges that while Miller was in Iceland in 2020, they walked around town barefoot, sporting long, unclipped toenails, what may have been an infected gash on their foot. Miller rented an Airbnb in the Reykjavik suburb of Kópavogur, and they ran a commune with beds laid out on the floor for artists, expats, and young women. They led group meditations and claimed to possess supernatural powers and also paid for food, lodging, and marijuana, but would become violent if they perceived any dissent within the group. These days, Miller runs another commune in Vermont, which has been described as having rampant drug use, guns, a woman, and by the way, what is going on at Warner Brothers? How persuasive is this guy? Because, you know, cult leaders can be charismatic. How charismatic is this guy that Warner Brothers is going, yeah, we'll figure it out. And by this guy, I don't mean gendered guy.
Right,
I mean like I call my friend Michelle. What up, guy? So Miller's running a commune in Vermont.
Yeah. Rolling Stone ran a whole article about that too. Like the mainstream media has picked it up. Guns, bullets, and weed. He was housing 3 young children at this farm. There were guns laying everywhere. The 1-year-old had a bullet in their mouth. They've been reporting on this for a minute.
Yeah, so I now go to the article about Warner Brothers where kind of okay. Because Ezra Miller came in and like apologized. Like I'm like, my mind is blown by the fact that this person, I mean, how good of an actor are they? Maybe they're great.
It's kind of is where he met with them.
Miller, who uses they, them pronouns, and Metzger met with new Warner Brothers film chairs Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abby to discuss not only how to stay on course for The Flash's June 23rd, 2023 release date, but to reaffirm their commitment to the movie as well as apologize for bringing negative attention to the production in the company. Over the past few years, Miller has been at the center of arrest, a controversy culminating with the actor posting a mea culpa on August 15th, saying they were seeking help for mental health issues. Said the actor at the time, I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. According to sources, Miller vowed to seek help after learning that DeLuca and Abdi were considering all options for Flash, including scrapping the $200 million movie if things devolved further with Miller. $200 million.
While the actor is said to not have minded the stream of bad headlines, they were spooked by the notion of the film getting canceled and jolted to take action. They care about the Flash. It's one of their favorite characters to play. I mean, we're just living in a fucking disgusting, you know, I mean, it's like a joke. It's like we're just living in a complete joke.